Strong today for the North American sides. Liquid not really getting too much done, and Complexity looking to try and recover that in their hometown here in Dallas. We'll see if they can take down MIBR straight away. A quick play on the T side, running down in towards ramp. Chelo looking to hold it, Bit towards the back box, and so much to deal with right now for Bit. Couple of shots missing, going past. He's going to see a couple towards Hell. Needs to start taking a few of these kills with him. Chelo, Bit, and JOTA taking picks between them, and it's just down to Fang and JT left alone.
Coach coming through on the server early. Bit gets himself on the board. These last two players should be in real trouble for Complexity. JT just looking for any way in, and there are a couple of ways in. Complexity players are still so low though. A single shot will finish Fang, and the flank will be spotted, but it won't be able to come out in his favor. So a good start for MIBR. I like the way Bit played the pistol, Dinko. I like that he just hid behind the box and tried to catch people off guard, because if you're a coach standing in, it's probably your best chance of getting kills. Yeah,
it is going to be interesting to see where Bit's level is at. Very experienced player, very frequently was playing as pro player not too long ago. I think it was with the 9C side heading into the end of last year, and the start of this year obviously transitioned into the coach role. So yeah, it's been a little while since he's been on the server, but he's a pro not long ago. So Bit looking towards the silo, spots out Floppy, does a bit of damage. Complexity getting off to a slower start, and not really too much expected here, but you know, expectations for Complexity coming into this event, I think from the major, I don't think too many people have got their stock very high right now, Olga.
No, which is why the desk was almost saying, hey look, Complexity, you should be winning this game, but they were almost saying it with bated breath to an extent, where it's like, we can't actually be confident fully that they're going to take this one. I think you have to assume they will be able to get the win, but you don't know, especially if Bit's landed some shots, which he is. A couple of kills on the cleanup. There we go. Get him some confidence early.
Well, now we look to Complexity, who will get the buyout. We'll get the rifles out across the board. You know, we look at Junior as a player that maybe doesn't perform against the best of sides, but against the likes of an MIBR, he did his best work playing within the Americas, right? Junior did his best work playing in his domestic scene. This is going to be a team relatively familiar with, so hopefully we'll get to see Junior have somewhat of a high level when he gets that AWP out, but we're not going to see that just yet. We're going to see the rifles out for Complexity, see if they can get on to a good start here. A couple of masks kept over here for MIBR, but everyone on rifles. No real bonus to be seen.
This is a pretty good map for JT as a caller too, which I think is another point the desk made sure to make out. It's a map where you can be quite procedural, and I think that's the sort of playstyle JT likes. He's oftentimes known for these set plays, but there was a period towards the end of last year where he was trying to call a little bit looser, seeing how he enjoyed that. I still think Complexity's strength is with some of these set plays though, and we're already seeing those yard smokes, but JOTA, looking for a kill up on the back, decides it's time to play safe. So that's allowed JT a lot of ground. He's got all the way into Garage. He hasn't got much assistance, but it is a strong foothold to have on the map. You can see Turtle uncomfortable because of it. It's a nice smoke from JOTA though, it's going to help just keep them a little more comfortable, and Grim's actually gone down through the smoke.
Solid start for MIBR in this round. Vantage already picked up, and Bit is in a position to try and follow up upon that, but JT bests him in the duel. So pulls that kill back into the 4v4, but keep note of the time and the transition of MIBR push through the hut. JOTA has been found, but the push from MIBR taking the lobby control back. Fang is going to hear those steps. They have to get the pick here quickly, and Turtle will nearly gets away with a second, but will they expect exit? They were still transition and focused on that, but couldn't quite take him out. 2v2 as MIBR have to play the retake. Floppy puts the bomb down.
Strong post-plant position for JT though in heaven. Floppy will be stuck on the site, so it's up to JT to play off his teammate, because Floppy's in a really rough spot.
Time ticking for MIBR. Chelo, with one flash in hand, starts to maneuver his way closer to the site, but as you pointed out, JT towards heaven is going to be so difficult to flush out. He's in the power position, and Floppy just hiding, buying time, pulling them in. They know JT's up towards heaven. They have to try and cover him off, and they've got the pick. Oh, for Complexity. That is heartbreaking, and Chelo is going to stick the defuse all the way through. MIBR pull it off in what looked like an impossible retake scenario.
it was even awkward because Exit was the man who was low health, but he ended up being the man that had to hold and had to try and win the fight against JT. So it looked like it was set up for perfection, but that was not the case. Just none of those shots landing. A single shot lands, and then chelo has to start stressing, has to potentially get off the bomb, but instead Exit wins the straight-up duel. That's now a 3-0 start for MIBR. It's a shame because JT was starting this game with some pretty sharp shots, but that's the moment he needed to step up for his team, and he wasn't able to. And it was a good round from Complexity. They got the yard control. They forced the MIBR aggression. It looked like they were ready for the lobby aggression. They traded onto A, just not able to close it out, and now the Pistols try and pounce.
Just bombarding their way through, and they're actually getting picks out of it. Complexity with 2 kills. Maybe there's more to this because Complexity have found not only the bomb plant but another kill as well. So it's JOTA and it's Bit into a 2 versus 4, and you look at the weapons Complexity brought to this round. You didn't expect this result, but they have a chance to. Well, they have closed it out at this point. MIBR going for the save, and so Complexity, that is a little lifeline given to them. That's their first round picked up here.
I was not expecting this to be so successful for Complexity. With just the Pistols pushing out through Squeaky, they lost that first fight. But they just have players able to wrap in from main too, wrap in from different positions. And now they've got 3 rifles in hand, which is really nice to help that economy out early.
Yeah, JOTA might be able to take away a couple of them here if he gets around the corner. They're all lined up. It's 2 for JOTA, make it 3. And those rifles all gone. I know it's a round win for Complexity, but it's still going to sting a little bit. That could have recovered the economy massively. You would have had all those upgraded rifles, but with those being taken away from their hands, it's actually not too bad for MIBR on the way out. Definitely the softest blow.
Impressive stuff from JT, able to trade out, pushing through the Squeaky smoke. And it is still MIBR who are slightly worse for wear in terms of that economy game. Bits have to sacrifice down to an MP9, but I'm sure he'll be happy to do that. Give his players the rifles.
Yeah, you look at the scenario though, and that damage that was done with those 3 rifles going down. You may not see the ramifications in this round specifically, but if Complexity win this round with taking a lot of damage, their economy's still in a bad spot. If they lose this round, obviously it's even worse because then you're down to a relatively weak buy. So those ramifications might be seen in a later round, but keep track of that. Complexity could recover their woes by winning this one. chelo, that is damn clean. Quick to the headshot as Grim is plucked out of the round, and chelo's going to have to deal with the onslaught of players, and deal with it he will. Bomb down alongside 2 extra players, and Complexity down to just Floppy and JT.
Beautifully done by chelo. Just all about that crosshair placement for all those kills.
Wow.
JOTA doing the exact same, holding the right position. The utility wasn't strong enough to force chelo off that angle. I think there was a flash going in, but it didn't seem to blind him. Ended up potentially going too deep. It was a smart reposition from chelo, and just the first shot was so quick too. And Floppy oftentimes is that man asked to be the trade fragger. Well, in this scenario, no possibility for those trades to come through. It's MIBR off to a real strong start here, 4-1 lead, and the scary thing for me is the only player who has been showing up for Complexity has kind of been JT. He's had a couple of rounds where he's got some important kills. No one else from the squad has really shown up so far, and that cannot be the case. JT's the in-game leader, and he's normally not a big fragging in-game leader either. Take a look at this buy from Complexity too. This is an awkward one. We've got the ult for Junior. That is the main weapon in this round, so time for him to show us what he can do, because he hasn't had the impact so far, but he's finally got his weapon of choice. It's not easy to get a pick on Nuke though with that ult. Your best bet's probably Yard. But right now it's JT clearing out Yard. The Pistols leading the way.
Well, Bit crosses towards back for the warehouse. Junior taking out chelo.
That's what they needed.
That's the advantage they need, yeah, absolutely. Chance now for Complexity. Yet again, desperately need the round wins at this point, but MIBR still have weapon superiority. And Bit is starting to move his way towards Yard. Oh, it's pulled too thin there. In that open position, you've got to deal with 2 positions. Luckily, JOTA was alongside of him and cleans up the mess. So, 3v3. A lot of damage done there for JOTA. But still a lot more to be done, and sprinkling damage through the door and the smoke. Complexity taking a lot of it, and that softens them up and makes them susceptible to the drop of the HE. So Fine now alone in a 1 versus 3. We'll start to consider all of the possible positions they could be coming from, but the problem is he doesn't have the bomb in his back and he doesn't have a lot of time. So, yeah, safe to say MIBR should be knocking Fine out of the park at this point.
JOTA will work out for exit. 3v3 closed out quickly due to all the earlier damage. Complexity got that early pick into ramp. They got that good start. They got a gun recovered, but I love this response from MIBR. Bit goes aggressive on Yard and then just makes sure to stick with a couple of teammates. So they basically are just using Bit as bait in that scenario. And that's exactly what they need to do. JOTA was right behind him. JOTA's the highest rated player for MIBR in the last couple of months. He's definitely the man to watch. And in that scenario, he was able to counter. And it's because they saw that AWP at ramp, they can be so much more confident with that Yard push. Because worst case scenario, you're pushing into rifles, potentially even pistols because of Complexity's poor economy. And it was the case in that round. So yeah, really nice call from MIBR, just dealing with the situation they've been put in. Making sure they make the most of that coach standard.
Well, Grim is slow off the block right now, 0-6. We'll have to see a step up from Grim individually, and I think it has to come in this round. We'll see if he's able to step up.
We've got to see any of the stars step up.
Yeah, just anybody
JT
really.
right now.
Yeah, that's very true. A lot more needed from Complexity. I'm sure there is a desire to perform in their own home city. I'd love to make the playoffs and play in front of the local fans. But to do that, this will be their best opportunity if they can take down MIBR in the opening. Outside, starting to be taken here for Complexity. One-way smoke being set up by Bit in towards Secret. And we've seen this so many times today be used to absolute devastating effect. Bit gets away with one, but a quick trick comes in from Floppy, and they're trying to accelerate this one in Complexity.
Difference this time is Complexity had plenty of players behind that, so they could trade, and now Turtle's scrambling to get into position.
Yeah, well, Turtle gets forced out of the vent. Floppy takes him out. And it's 4 versus 3. Complexity with the advantage. Need to convert this. They can't afford to drop the ball.
Utility put down, that will allow the bomb to be planted, and Grim is still lurking. Chelo's waiting, but I don't think Grim needs to move a muscle here. He can wait for noise. Oh, maybe not. He is going to move out early. I think it should still be fine, though. MIBR are too far removed from this round. Complexity have burrowed themselves in on that B-bomb site. And I like that Complexity are going back to that Yard play now. I think that's a real good opportunity for them to try and draw some rotations. We don't know how Bit is going to be able to handle coming into the team. Sure, he's the coach, but there's a difference playing in the server and knowing when to have those rotates come through. You build up the synergy with those players. Damn, this is a nice attempt.
That's not too bad, is it? You know, everybody's tried this at least a few times, but maybe not ever coming out on top with that, but an attempt nonetheless. And the spirits look high in the Complexity camp at least, but yeah, it's needless to say it hasn't been the most fantastic start, but they have got that opportunity now to try and build upon that round win. MIBR still have the buy. They still have the purchase with everything you could want. You have the AWP for Chelo, everybody with utility. 2 kits in place, so keep track of where those go, but Complexity, it's a good round from them. We've got to see that again.
I like the Yard play from Complexity. I think that should be the base of the majority of their plays here, but the difference is that AWP now from Chelo. Woody no longer in this lineup. Chelo taking over AWPing duties. Got to see if he can deny, or maybe just the M4 can deny.
Yeah, last 2 bullets go through the smoke and land right with pinpoint accuracy to the head of JT. Complexity will have to deal with the player deficit. Luckily, JT will now just sit and watch the other screens around him.
They were stalled too long here, Complexity. The Yard smokes haven't been effective. They haven't been able to gain any ground from that. They only have a single smoke remaining, and they have to rely on flashes to try and get up through Yard, which could be tricky.
Well, they might have looked to dip in towards main there, but Junior actually got caught by the flash. They managed to get Fine actually pushed in towards the warehouse. Junior trying to cross. Needs to be careful. He's the bomb carrier. Fine. Rattling bullets, but Bit's got all the info and hasn't gone down. So MIBR can adjust accordingly to the numbers they've seen push towards Warehouse. And chelo, he's trying to deal with Fine, who has taken damage, but not enough to go down and be eliminated. They're really trying to get something. Finally, Grim gets his first kill of the tournament, and it's on to Bit to take him out of the round and tie things up. But 30 seconds, MIBR move forward into the hut again. They've taken that lobby back. They've pulled the kill back on Grim, and Complexity are trying to find what holes available to them.
B is weak.
And they've decided it's the B site.
B is weak, the rotates a while. JOTA's here alone right now, but he's hard to flush out from this position.
Yeah, he's going to be mollied into the open. It's 1 and it's 2 for JOTA. That is so clean. And just like that, that's the round. Complexity, well, can't compete here.
Floppy's going to try, but try as he might, the round is done. This is all about the response from MIBR. They're finding the lobby aggressions right now. Complexity are trying to go for the yard play, trying to control yard fully. This kill from Bit helps out early, but it's mainly about going back aggressive into lobby. Complexity are getting a lot of ground at yard, but that's the kill that gets you lobby control, and then Complexity aren't sure where their end goal can be. It seems like the start of the round, they're happy taking yard, and then they need to try and figure out what they can do with that. Because as soon as you lose lobby there, you're not that comfortable. Even as you try and go down to B, it's just such little time remaining to try and flush out all those spots.
Complexity yet to put 2 rounds together, right? They had that one force round where they won a couple of pistols, and then they had the gun round, but they haven't been able to put 2 rounds together just yet, and they're never going to feel good about that. Their economy hasn't grown to the point where they can buy after buy. They're going to have half invest again here, so you'll see them upgrade into a couple of Deagles, you'll see a couple of MAC-10s, but for Complexity, they need a round win again.
And they did win earlier with one of those fast A plays, so we'll see if that's what they go back to now that they have a weaker buy.
See if that is the call. It's got pace behind it, it's got a bit of sting. MIBR seem to be aware of Molly's going down to try and slow, but it's been called to a halt here. Complexity, they're waiting on the utility, and now they will go. It is still quick, but they've been halted, they've been slowed inside of the hut. They just absolutely get destroyed. MIBR with every kill required. It's just Junior, and he's actually managed 1 towards the end. Tech9 with a headshot. Still 3 more to find.
I think MIBR might have been on the same wavelength as us there. Last time Complexity had a lower buy that they were able to win, it was with a fast A play. This was a slightly different call where the attempt was to funnel fully out through hut instead of through Squeaky, which I think is what was so effective about the previous play. They got out through Squeaky first, which helped them have 2 different angles. Instead, that was just one angle that got locked down completely. Here is Junior trying to reposition, but this is where the Tech9 at range should be in trouble. Sato will take him down. Complexity need to start showing some signs of life soon. They've got another gun round. They're going to have everything they want in this one. They've been able to get the yard control, but it's all about where they can go from there. And yeah, just look at how ready MIBR were. They had 4 players on A, ready on crossfires, on separate angles in that round. I love that MIBR are thinking far enough ahead to realize they just needed to reinforce the A site in that round.
Door gets blown open. Flashes, smokes being sent on out, and Complexity barrel their way through the squeaky door exit. Trying to catch them, but Complexity. JT, oh, he missed the vent, but still stuck around and able to come away with a kill. Very lucky there, JT. Luckily for MIBR though, Bit has found a follow-up and extended back into the advantageous position. Turtle hangs around to try and deal with JT, but he bests him as well, so JT is doing a lot of work right now. And he might get a little bit more. chelo repositions deeper into the vent, just waiting for JT to drop on down. But JT isn't doing that. He's just staying around and buying time in doing so. Oh, he's on top of his head! Missed shot from chelo. JT unable to get the pick. Eventually, chelo recovers for the no-scope. And the time is ticking here. Complexity looking to just run it dry completely. Oh, chelo hits the shot on the cross as Junior comes back down. And chelo now goes to the sidearm. Headshot is there. Fine holding from the side. A big double. And chelo's not close, but he knows where he's coming from. And Fine has the crosshair ready, and Fine keeps it clean and wins the most important round for Complexity. They need to find it, and they need to get into this first half, and Fine holds on for it.
Quick fire double from Fang at the back of the bomb site. Finding that one box, there wasn't enough utility, there wasn't enough time to properly clear out that position. This was JT dropping down vents with his knife out, had no clue a player was there. And that's Fang finding the second kill, which had to be quick. and then the final player with only the pistol out was pretty easy to deal with. I like that call from Complexity, but it is still a risk to go for that play. When you're trying to rush out through Squeaky like that, the silenced M4s can spam you down. This time that didn't happen, and getting down the vents early was enough, and just getting into an early position where they could actually get the bomb down quickly was the difference there. Previously, the map control Complexity has gained hasn't allowed them to get the bomb down. This time it's different, and now this time they're faking the yard smokes. They're going to focus on ramp. Ooh. chelo should know there's a couple of players there now. He's heard the AWP too. Might be time to fall back. He hears all these steps though. This is the thing, Complexity using a lot of information and utility to get this early map control, but now where do they go from here, right? They don't have that many nades left, they don't have a kill. MIBR, I think, is still fairly comfortable in this position.
Yeah, where do they go now? 47 seconds left on the timer. Complexity begin to focus on exiting through Squeaky door. Turtle then peeks as the smoke fades away. It's Grim who's ready for Turtle to phase that, and that kill comes through. JOTA has traded out onto JT, so we're still at the 4v4, but again, the time, it is a limiting factor here, and Complexity line up. Exit just swipes the legs from beneath them. Grim and Fang in a sticky mess on the ground. And Complexity need to make up a lot of ground in the remaining 20 seconds. It's hard to see how they even get into that competitive position, especially with Junior playing far back from Squeaky. Floppy failing to hit the mark on that kill, but oh, lovely shots from Junior. Unfortunately, was never really in the position to compete for the round win. So Complexity, once again, failed to put two together, and MIBR answer back yet again.
And this time, the fake yard smokes from Complexity not really doing enough for them. Yes, they get ramp control, but they don't do much with it. They fall back into this A play, and they didn't have a massive amount of utility left. I mean, Junior still had a couple of flashes and a molly that he didn't use, but they were just trying to rely on actually upping the pace and hoping they'd drawn a rotation away from A. But they didn't do enough to draw those players out of position. MIBR stuck with their setup, and now it's back to pistols, and Bit's aggression is a really nice position. Crim's able to trade, though, and that's a rifle back.
A couple of bullets will start to land. chelo brought down to 55. JOTA through the headshot is now Floppy and JT. And a 2v4, and I think a couple of style points. I think that's about the only thing you can bring out of this round for Complexity. Floppy will hit one. Just a matter of time before he will be put in the ground, and Exit is the man to do it. So 9 rounds for MIBR on the CT side. Now, we talk about the CT meta. That's always a talking point. How many rounds do you think we need here for Complexity?
Ooh, that's a tough call. I think, like, worst case, if they get 5, they can come back from that. I think that's really what you want to be aiming for as a minimum at this point. Like, so maybe with 4, but you're just relying on the pistol pretty heavily at that point.
All right, so we're looking for them to get 2 out of the next 3 as a minimum. So that's what the goal is here for Complexity. We now look at the 4 rifles, the AWP. It is a buy. Gotta see Complexity start to pick it up here. Feels like that has been the narrative throughout this entire first half, but so be it. There has been glimpses, and now quick out through the Squeaky door. Turtle unable to get the first pick, but JOTA will. And now it's all chaos in the smoke at the doorway, but it's MIBR that are handling it. They found the first 2 kills. Finally, one pulled back by Junior. There's a lot more needed where that came from.
JT dropping down. Nice position to get that kill onto Bit, and now Yard is open, but JOTA, perfect timing on the peek up. That's his 2nd kill on the round, and Complexity down in a 2v3. We might see more aggression through Hut. Exit's pushing behind them.
Yeah, because there's still 2 players up on the rifles, that allows chelo to just continue to hold his position. Goes out with a nade in hand and will get picked out, but just the sheer numbers left out for MIBR, they were able to cover off from the ramp rotation. So 10 rounds now for MIBR. That was a buy round for Complexity. And the call was, it feels like the calls are pretty desperate right now. You know, you have just, how many times we've seen this quick A play outdoor being attempted from Complexity. It's not really worked all that often either.
Yeah, they're trying, again, to go for the yard smokes to draw players away, to draw the attention over there, and then hoping they can quickly pop through Squeaky, which can work, but it relies on a pretty narrow timing window of people looking at yard while you haven't followed up on the commitment. The other nice thing about it was at least JT could lurk through yard after the squeaky play came through, but you are relying on just getting some decent trades initially, and it's really hard to do that with the play through the squeaky smoke. Even with some good flashes there, they weren't able to gain enough ground, and obviously having JOTA down the vents made a huge difference. Good bit of utility bought by Complexity here.
Yeah,
it's only the pistols to accompany it.
Yeah, they're going for the conservative approach. Now, we haven't seen them be too competitive even in the gun rounds of all the bells and whistles, so it's hard to be inspired about this kind of purchase, but pushing for a fourth.
Funnily enough, MIBR's money is actually pretty bad. If Complexity could somehow win this round, you could maybe see 5 rounds for them, but winning this one would be a tall order still with the pistols.
Now the story coming into this matchup for MIBR is last minute invitees, right?
Yeah.
Replacement team, but they've also got to play with their coach because the new player, Burnside, couldn't make it here. So we have Bit standing in, and he's done a pretty proficient job. He's been effective, and that's all you can ask for, really. See if they can hold on for an 11th round here at MIBR. Turtle, good for one, but a couple have come through here for Complexity. Floppy and fine, but there we go. Chelo's come in, the cleanup crew is that. 11 rounds for MIBR. They are fired up, and they're opening. They realize this is an opportunity they didn't expect to have, and they are sending it home right now.
And the players are looking sharp. I have to say, the players are looking really sharp. These are a quick time to kills on all of these rounds. And that's another round where Complexity haven't set the tone with these fake yard smokes. They keep going for these yard smokes, expecting to draw respect, expecting to draw rotations, but they haven't set the precedent for that. That's not happening right now. MIBR still have the majority of their players stacked towards A, and so even when Complexity gets some trade kills, MIBR have more players waiting in the wings, and MIBR seem to be pretty okay with conceding that yard control and just stacking elsewhere. By the way, we're seeing Bit on the AWP now too.
Yeah, we are seeing that be picked up. You know, with the absence of Woody, right, you're going to see the AWP have to be picked up by someone, and with Bruno not being here, so Bit's the man to pick it up.
I mean, holding angles with the AWP, like, I think occasionally I could hit some of these shots, you know, and he's got a chance to show that here.
All right, let's go. No, it's not landed, but comes off the angle nonetheless, and just having the presence of the AWP there is enough to scare away the opponent. So he's done his job somewhat in that position, hasn't died, so.
Yeah. You can just hold map control. Here comes Chelo, different angle, this time traded. JOTA's still here though, and they might not be expecting a second man so soon. The molly forces him back, but some decent damage done to Fang. 45 seconds. JT's still looking for this lurk play. Again, this yard control is here for Complexity, but how do they end on a bomb site? That has been the question that's eluded them this entire time. They have to figure out how to group up for a site play, and the B site could be the right call. Bit is down there with the AWP. He'll need a rotation soon if this play were to come through.
Yeah, Bit towards the back of the site, gets one. Quick trade there from Fang, at least keeps Complexity afloat in this position. 14 seconds
Rotate
left.
down the vents is there.
Yeah, bomb plant is starting to come through, but luckily on the other side of the cylinder, so JOTA couldn't deny it. Complexity get the bomb down. There might just be a little bit of hope at the end of this half. 4 rounds. It is the absolute below the minimum threshold, but maybe with an 11-4 half, there's some possibility it's staying competitive to move into the second, but they must pull this one out. They must hold on to this with a white knuckle grip. They're starting to lose some of that grip now with Turtle's kill. Junior AWP picked up, just turning on a swivel and finding a couple. And Turtle will try his best, but the time is no longer there. 11 rounds at the half for MIBR. Complexity with a mere 4. We'll see if the North American side can bounce back here in their local city, or will it be a loss to start off this affair?
pros, a quick molly for you today which will help disrupt the Ts who want to go outside fast. To throw this molly, run along the side of this wall. Aim at these weird electrical things. Then running throw the molly. If the Ts are committed to an early outside push, this will likely cause them to burn a smoke. And a T with one less smoke is always a joy to behold.
Myself in the mirror not so long ago, and I told me, do you know? I told me, do you know? All alone in your head, but you don't have to pretend that you will make a change, 'cause you don't wanna change. I'm gonna be real honest this time. I'm okay with it, I am more than fine. I'm gonna roll all less red dice now. Tell me I won't get out. Tell me I won't get out. I wanna walk the sky, alone among the stars, without forgetting who I was, or have to look back that far. And I don't want to forget who, get who. And are you just fucking around in my mind one last time? I'm gonna be.
A disappointing start for Complexity here in Dallas, but MIBR making the most of their last-minute opportunity. 11 rounds posted in that first half as they now transition to play on the T side. Hawker, what needs to be done for Complexity to pull this off?
I mean, I was going to say the standard, they've got to start by winning the pistol round, but that's almost a bit too basic. Honestly, I think their CT side will be a lot better. I think their T side was a little too overcomplicated at times and trying to sell fakes between positions. On CT side, Nuke, you're probably going to play pretty standard in general. Problem is, they might not get much of a chance to build if they don't get off to a good start here because they're so far down. MIBR, a couple of pieces of utility. Smoke already out through Squeaky, obscuring the vision of Floppy. There's JT getting a nice kill at Yard. Clock is pushing that position, but we're getting action all over the place.
It's a good start from JT, but very quickly found by Turtle. Grim had a slow first half. Does get one towards the back of the site this time around. Jota elsewhere, making sure that the advantage never stays in the hands of Complexity. Low HP on JT. I mean, one single HP left on him. Just a sprinkle of a bullet will take him out of the round. It's so close. JT dancing with death, somehow getting away. Finally will be hunted down by Jota and taken out. So MIBR now stand with that advantage, but Grim has pulled it back again. The trading from both teams has been very effective in this pistol, but now we're getting the crunch time. Down the vent they go. Bit is holding for it. Oh, that had to be a kill. And because it's not, well, Complexity given a bit of a lifeline again here.
That bomb could still make it to B. Exit able to get down ramp, and that's where Bit has that foothold already. So bomb plant should be confirmed at a minimum. Kit's just been recovered by Junior though, so Complexity themselves can take their time on this retake. And they're going to have to, because they have to start rotating into position.
With Bit's position, the decon stairs and the double door setup as well. MIBR positioned well to deal with the split up retake attempt because they're coming in from two opposite sides. It puts them into 1v1. So there is a smoke and a kit on the back of Junior. He's going to tap and try and draw them into the fight. Still hasn't used that smoke, now has to. But he keeps going forward. That's twice now. He's quick switched too fast and he just can't get it done here. He's going to go down. Complexity had an opportunity, but Junior just couldn't get the smoke out on time. The nerves perhaps in that situation costing him, and he fumbles it. And MIBR, a pistol picked up, has put them up to 12 rounds.
You just got to pop that smoke down and cause some chaos, cause some issues. That's when MIBR could start to panic and make mistakes. But a couple of times he switches away too soon. And that's the thing, if you get the smoke down, you could just force them into making some mistakes. Maybe the MIBR players start trying to push and trying to get up close because they're concerned about the possible defuse, and that's when you can force them to fight. But instead, they can just play the time. And MIBR not wasting any time in this one, straight into the ramp play.
Not floppy. Deagle in hand, here they come. Looking to walk right into the flop, and he will not flop. He gets himself a double. Chelo and Turtle both out to the D, but Bit, fantastic work again. Couple of kills pulled back, and Bit once more. Smoke immediately stopping that Molotov from being effective. Bit tries to pull the player out of decon, trying to pull the fight in towards him, but he is buying time for JOTA, who is starting his flight down the secret stairs exit, holding off the ramp play. And MIBR have got their areas covered for the time being, but it's JOTA that is all about the play here, Hawker.
Oh, they're not looking, just as they go forwards. JOTA hits them in the back, but he hasn't spotted the second man.
Yeah, that's a big problem because now JT was given an opportunity to take down his teammate. So MIBR 2v2, bomb yet to be planted, and Bit making a lot of noise. No secret about where he's heading with this one. Up the vent he goes with the bomb safely on his back. He's going to lock that plant in, and JT in the vent waits for that rotation up. And now Bit, 24 HP. The coach standing in for the side, looking to pull off a 1 versus 2 clutch alone. Tap on the defuse has been had. Bit eventually will give away his position. Another tap. Bit continues to let them know exactly where he's playing from, but eventually Complexity are going to have to get onto that defuse. Bit, will he go for it this time? The spam not coming in. It's the full 10 seconds being stuck around the corner. They've got off it now, and Bit, he has not bit down. He has not swung, and Bit will pull off the 1 versus 2 clutch. The coach standing in to a massive effect, and that is more than you could have ever asked for.
Listen, man, he may not have the aim, but he played that really well. Just the awareness that there's not going to be a kit in play from Complexity. If I just spam this bomb, I'm going to hear if they're on the defuse, and I can play it super safe and keep on spamming away. This is the moment where JT gets off the bomb. That's the moment that the round is done and dusted. Bit played it beautifully. He played it exactly as he needed to, just playing for info the whole time, never giving away an unnecessary fight. He's playing well, honestly. He has had some pretty solid impact.
He really has. The impact he's had is being fantastic so far, and we now focus on the timeout. We'll let you know that this is actually a tactical timeout taken by MIBR after that, so wanting to maybe cool things down, focus up, and make sure that they get this job done in the most clean and convincing of fashions. Complexity to the buy, it's not great right now.
Bit now has more kills than any Complexity player after that round. I mean, that's not something we could have expected, but man, it's a welcome sight for MIBR. And we were saying he's been a pro player fairly recently. It's not like one of the coaches who has never really played before. He's no stranger to being on the server.
And he's winning with a brain right now.
Desperate times for Complexity. They've bought what they can. I like the double stack into Hut. It could work out quite nicely. Close range with the Deeg and the MP9. Maybe gives them some chance to catch MIBR off guard. And to be fair, MIBR actually have very little utility left. So these sorts of stacks could be a little difficult to deal with.
You don't have the utility to break them up, right? That's the problem. You will have to go into a couple of stacks because you can't separate them, you can't pull them away.
You can't go for the A play here, though. With this little utility, I think they've realized they've got to just go for yard.
Yeah.
Especially with the AKs.
Safe call here for MIBR. The right one, but Grim holding. Oh, wow. Oh, Grim is not going to be happy about that. Chelo hard clears him and hits the headshot.
that's the other thing. The MIBR players have been hitting some really good shots.
Absolute bangers, right? It's been incredible.
This is why this team has had some upsets earlier in the year. Right at the start of the year, we're seeing the individuals again.
No way. The double stack in Hutchins gets cleared out by one man. JOTA takes both down.
Oof.
Fine doing his best to dig in deep. Off a mass in hand under a lot of pressure. First couple of kills are good, but couldn't stabilize to close it. 14 rounds now for MIBR. Money in the bin for Complexity. This should be 15 for MIBR, and, well, let's be real. The closer should be coming pretty close after that.
You would have to think so. Nice headshots from every player, really. Every single kill you see from the MIBR side is as clean as they come. Even though there was a team kill in there, it's all fine and dandy.
Yeah, we're looking now at a couple of deagles. Scout and play for Junior. And JOTA, here he comes. Out of hut already. Fine plays up on top. Having a couple of shots going down into the site, but chelo is taking out JT. MIBR with the first of round 19. They look to make sure that it's first of many. Resmokers down to main, and that prevents Complexity from even getting a chance to maybe peel away with one kill there to give them a slight chance, but here we are at a 5v4. MIBR with a bomb down and Complexity with no real opportunity to get much done here at all.
There just wasn't any utility for Complexity in this round. I think that's part of the reason why MIBR were comfortable going for the quick A aggression. You know you're not going to get bogged down in a molly or nades. JOTA was hunting with the MAC-10. It's not really too fussed about losing it. He's just looking for a bit of extra cash. But MIBR up to a 15-4 lead. And we simply haven't seen the level of play out of Complexity that we were hoping.
But let's flip that and focus on the level that MIBR is showing, right? You know, you're a team coming into this event that no one expected to be here. They're here now. With the circumstances they got here and how late notice it was, right? They were the last team to be added. We don't even have their logo up on some of the sets we've got here. This is how recent this was. Then they announced they bit stand in. I mean, this couldn't have been worse on paper for MIBR, but what a way to start off the competition if you can close this one 16-4. But Complexity, they have got the ult back for Junior. They've got rifles out in play as well.
Grim mollied off.
That really is grim, isn't it?
Unfortunate, and here come the nades.
Here comes the players, charging their way in. chelo just rips apart the top side player of Grim. He was on the hut trying his best, but his best not enough right now. As Complexity with the two players at heaven, they have the flashes at the ready. They've got some utility for this, and they're at the ready.
Molly slowed it down so significantly, though. It's pushed them really far back. Complexity only have a single flash to try and find a way in, but they're getting locked out by MIBR's utility.
Oh, Floppy towards heaven. Turtle getting a double kill, ripping them apart. And MIBR, what a statement showing in their opening best of one. And for Complexity, if they want to run here in their home city, they've got to do it the hard way, dropping their first show against the MIBR side. Many would have said this was their best opportunity, Hawker. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it done.
Individuals stepped up from MIBR, though. Got to give them a lot of props. Just every single player coming in and hitting the level that they needed to dominate this matchup. And this is why this team can be scary. The players on this MIBR squad